Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Now, the Digital Skills Unit of the Ministry of Digital Transformation is embarking on a program that aims to foster the digital and technical competencies of citizens in TNT. The program, branded as We Learn TT, is an ecosystem designed to cater to all TNT ICT learners, and all ICT learners has been separated into 3 groups. And so joining us this morning to talk more about it is the Manager of Performance and Engagement at the Digital Skills Unit, Dr. Andrea Kane, and Shanice Charles from the Minister's Secretariat at the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys this morning?
Good, thank you. Yeah.
Happiness Day to you.
Thank you.
Okay, so MDT Digital Skills Program. Dr. Kane, I'm coming to you first. How was the idea conceived, and tell us a bit more about the program.
Okay, then. I just want to say good morning to everybody in the studio here and to the viewing audience online and as well as TV. Right, so the whole idea of We Learn TT, it came about because of the need to upskill and to get people ready for the digital transformation that is coming. It has already started, really. It's all about getting people in terms of the basic literacy skills, making sure that people could get online and access information, interpret information, fill out forms. Then we have another group of people who are already skilled with IT. So they might be learning IT in school or might have been fiddling on their own. These people might want to upskill their technology itself. They would want to be able to access jobs and reach a certain standard. So we're going to try to fill that gap. And then we have those people who want to go even further in terms of creating IT businesses. We want to make sure that we could give them the tools and the mentorship to get them to that stage, because with the IT businesses, we could increase the GDP of the country.
Yeah. Now, I know that in the intro, I would have mentioned the ICT learners. Is it only for ICT learners or anybody who has an interest in ICT?
Right. So an ICT learner really is everybody today.
Yeah.
Because you might have Granny, as you see Granny there, and just now what you highlighted.
Yes.
She might be working with her great-grands, doing their homework online. Right? So you want to make sure that everyone could cope and could actually thrive in the digital world.
Yeah.
So an ICT learner could be the basic learner, or it could be somebody actually learning it in school as a formal thing. Yeah.
Ms. Charles, I'm coming to you because I'm interested into how the collaboration came about between the Ministry of Sports and Community Development and the Ministry of Digital Transformation.
Right. I think it's important to start with in saying that the collaboration is not new.
Right.
We have digital transformation stationed at community centers across Trinidad and Tobago, where they have their ICT centers, stationed at community centers already, and that work started 2 years ago. And so this initiative came out of the Honourable Minister Shamfa Cudjoe's trip to London earlier this year, where she was specially invited by the Commonwealth Secretariat to further conversation as it pertains to the preparation of the Youth Olympic Games that we are hosting on our shores from August 4th to August 11th this year. And this initiative is just one of many that adds to our legacy projects, as well as in celebration of the Youth of the Year. This is the Youth of the Year. So it's great to tie both in. And the collaboration speaks to the opportunities that sport has to offer that are not necessarily just sport opportunities. This is a digital skills learning program, and it lends itself to, I think, enhancing our youth holistically, especially in the social and economical sphere.
Yeah. Now I'm coming back to you, Dr. Kane, because I think I read that is there going to be 3 groups that is going to be covered in the We Learn TT, or how exactly are we looking at that breakdown?
So the whole We Learn TT is like a whole ecosystem, as you mentioned, right? So it's all about learning, but learning is not just the classroom learning.
Right.
So you have the self-paced online, you have live lectures, we have webinars, we have things like mentorship, or even the incubators, where we could pass someone through like a boot camp, or to, just hold their hands while they start a business. So the 3 categories that we have the first set of people who now trying to get on board. We don't want to leave anyone behind. So people who think that they never learned it before and they're afraid to start, this is your time. We have courses for you, and right now we have a partnership with YTEP Limited, where we are teaching basic literacy courses, digital literacy, where you could go into YTEP, register, and you have live courses online as well as the asynchronous, meaning that you have lessons online where you could go and look at it. Our access centers that Shanice mentioned, let's say that you are doing the course and you feel like you need some hand-holding, you could go to the access center and they would take you through the course. They will help you. Access centers are distributed throughout the communities in Trinidad and
free of
Tobago.
charge.
And the idea here is that you might not have a device, come in, we have devices. Or you might have a device, you don't have internet access, come in, we have that too. So that nobody is left behind. So that's one group. The second group would be people who are learning IT. So it could have been on your own. It could be that you're going through the formal school system or tertiary education, and you come out into the job market and they ask you for certain things that you might not have just yet. We're going to fill that gap.
Now, when you say certain things, are we talking about, for example, knowledge of Microsoft Office Suite? Are we talking, like, how advanced are we talking?
So the basic literacy would look at the Office Suite.
Right.
The advanced people might be looking at cloud computing, cybersecurity, data analytics. So little gaps where people around the world might have like some, let's say, a job online, and you looking to apply for that and you realize that you don't have those skills. Because you might have gone through a really great tertiary program, but there might be one or two skills that wouldn't be taught. This is the opportunity now to get that skill.
Yeah.
And then the third group, you want to go a little further because the second group sort of working for someone and you're upskilling. The third group want to create. So they want to sell solutions to local institutions, to regional institutions, even internationally. So you want to make sure that you ready to do that, not just the skills or the business acumen, but like the mindset.
Dr. Can I add these services free?
Right, so I wouldn't want to say free because somebody paying for it, right? But it's at no cost to the learner.
And so
Right.
how
So
much
they
is
could
something
access
like
it.
this going to cost the ministry to roll out?
Right, so sometimes like a license for someone to access courses could be something like 150 US.
And that's on a prescription basis, like per
Yeah,
month,
per
annum?
year or something like that, yeah.
Okay.
So there is a cost to it.
Yeah.
But we know that investing in our people will help the country in the long run. So you're willing to do it, and that's why we're going to ask people things like, the objectives, in terms of learning each week, or what they plan to do with it. So we might be managing in terms of following and partnering with you. It's not just put it there and hope you use it,
Right.
right? Because somebody's paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you would see young learners obviously coming forward for this type of knowledge, right?
Right.
Especially if they want to get into the IT field, that sort of thing. What sort of drive is the ministry using to get the older folks on board?
Right. So we are speaking to organizations like TAP, even the Blind Welfare Association, DRECHI. We want to make sure that no one is left behind, right? So that we would encourage people and we would sort of make sure even women are equally represented. Even if we don't really have a problem with women being equally represented at this stage, it's more like when we go into the job market, we might have to put in some extra things there, right? But we making sure that we reach out to different parts or different people or groups within the society and asking them to come in,
Yeah.
Some people have this fear of learning, so we could work with you. That's where the mindset change comes in.
And is it that this is going to be entirely where you have to come into the office, or is it going to be an option if it is you want to do it remotely or also coming to one of those access centers?
Right, so mainly remotely, self-paced, but we do have the access centers.
Yeah.
So we'd have the meet and greet sometimes to just, get to know each other because, the online environment could be lonely. But the idea is self-paced. So even if you're working and you want to find a way to just say move up into your organization and you have no time, then the self-paced thing is that 11 o'clock in the night, you could be reading. Yeah?
Yeah. Ms. Charles, I'm coming back to you because I'm also wondering how are like you mentioned before, that the Ministry of Sport obviously is using digitization in its rollout. But how exactly is that going to look, for example, like something like the Commonwealth Games that's coming up during this year?
Right, so we are using this initiative in terms of celebration for the Youth Olympic Games as well as to celebrate the Year of the Youth. Now, to sum it up, we have other initiatives that are part of the legacy projects under the Commonwealth Youth Games. We have the Youth Games Awareness Program, Caravan, which will be a caravan doing a school tour for primary school level, for example. And this is where we're really going to be rolling out the PR and really be engaging the youth and the public to not only be knowledgeable about the Commonwealth Youth Games, but about sport in general, to tackle physical inactivity, not only to the youth, but to also parents, to teachers, because it's important this year, as much as possible, to when the opportunity arises, to explain and to educate the public of the importance of sport.
Now, permit me to go off a bit. Is it that you can share some information in terms of the volunteer form? Because I know people have been asking
Yes.
about how they can get the volunteer forms, what site they can go to
Yes.
access. So if you can share with us, please.
So they can go to at Trinbago 2023, and they can access all the information there. In terms of volunteerism, I would love to just ask and plead with Trinidad and Tobago to make this memorable. It will be memorable based on the inclusivity. It will be memorable based on the support that our local athletes receive. A lot of times we go outside of our walls and our athletes, we have to travel alone because, of course, restriction, lack of finances and these different things. But here we have the opportunity for your classmate to sit next to you and to support you in the stands, yeah? And it's really just encourage Trinidad and Tobago to be a part of this. It's not just for the athletes. Well, no child should look to the stand and not see one familiar face, yeah?
And remind us when it's taking place.
It's going to be from August 4th to the 11th, 2023, this year.
This year, yeah. I mean, my final question to you, Doctor, will be: what sort of advice can you give those at home who are looking at it right now and deciding if it is they should or should not, access the services that comes under the ministry?
I would say to be open to growth, because we all need to have goals and focus on goals and move towards it. And don't think at any point in time that this is for them and not for me. It's for everyone. So you need to take that personal responsibility as a parent, as a grandparent, as a child, to get on board. Things are there for you to access and learn how to access, and you want to take full advantage of it. I just want to mention the Simply Learn program that we're doing in collaboration with the ministry.
Yeah.
Our registration will be open soon, so they could check the MDT website and the Ministry of Sports website and register probably by the end of next week. We have 200 licenses for youth 29 and under. So it's going to go fast.
Which are scholarships might
Right,
be.
yeah.
They're
So these are-
scholarships offered by the Commonwealth Secretariat.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. And they said they can get more information on the Ministry of Digital Transformation's website or
Ministry of Sports and Community
Development.
Development. Yeah.
Ladies, thank you so much for coming in this morning. I really, really hope those at home get an opportunity to learn about ICT and how important digitization is, of course, in this economy. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a quick break and be right back. Remember, it's World Happiness Day. We have so much more coming up. Stay with us.
Yes, so